What's up, everyone? This is the BumCast presented by Circa Sports Illinois. Bum fans, the World Cup is here, and it's time to kick off with the biggest, baddest sports book in the game, Circa Sports. Sports betting the way Chicago deserves it. No bet fees in Illinois. Circa Sports hooks you up with the player-friendly pricing, better in-match options, top-tier customer service, and more. From money lines to goal-scoring props, first half to full-time. Take your shot with the Circa Sports app. Bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. I am your host, HBC, the head bum in charge of Baloney, Southside Bum, Joey P. Welcome. Happy Monday, gents. Happy belated Father's Day to you two on the left side right there.
Thank you.
Hope you guys had a great, wonderful weekend, and hope everyone, all the other dads out there, had a great weekend, celebrate with the family and everything. Whew. How you doing, boys?
I'm doing good. I guess we should say, I appreciate the Father's Day sentiment. Thank you, Jason. But I would be remiss not to remind you that you don't have to be a dad to be a daddy.
That's true.
So happy Father's Day to anybody out there.
All the stepdads out there too, doing the work,
doing the Lord's work.
Hashtag if you know, you know.
Yeah, thank you. So I appreciate it. Had a good weekend. Shout out my wife, Julie. She knew that I wanted to do absolutely nothing for Father's Day, and that's exactly what I did. I had a huge-ass cup of coffee in the morning, and I watched a ton of soccer, and then she ordered my favorite Mexican skillet from, shout out Les Brothers, free ad for Les Brothers. And then I just had some Modelos and watched more soccer, but I wanted to bring this up, and this is not necessarily a bum of the week because she did a good job on it. But my daughter, I saw Barstool Big Cat post something similar about his daughter and, these school projects and stuff like that. So my daughter Scarlett had this and gave it to me, and I was really excited about it. She said, my dad is 42-year-old. That's tough. I'm an old dad compared to everybody else in the school. And then he said, he's good at golf. I like that. And when he comes home from work, he likes to shower. That's true because I'm usually dirty, but I'm a clean boy. And then we got to the bottom of the page, and she says, my dad's pockets are full of air/nothing. So, I'm a broke boy, apparently.
No broke boys, no new friends. Was she jamming out to that hit?
That was a tough scene when I got to that part of it. She's in summer camp right now. I always give her some money for candy cart and the Scholastic Book Fair. I always make sure I get her right for the book fair. But apparently,
it's not enough.
Pockets are empty. Cause
you're not giving her enough. That's basically she's trying to send you a message. Basically,
yeah, Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy nowadays $20 a tooth. Landon lost
$20 a tooth.
Yeah, see, and
apparently that's a broke boy. That's a 2,000% inflation from when I was a kid. I got $1, man. $1 a tooth.
It's tough scene. Colonel Bourbon says, JT says, at least he got the black shirt right. We just talked about that last week, and I'm predominantly a black shirt guy, so she got that right. So I liked it. But yeah, it was a good Father's Day, except for the fact that I'm broke.
Damn. Well, you know what then? You just saved yourself a shit ton of money on Christmas time, dude.
Yeah, sorry, air, nothing but air, nothing but air. No stocking stuff.
You got a prank her. You got a prank her, dude.
Butterflies are coming out of those pockets.
Oh, give her a big box and then just have air in there. Put a note that says, "Air nothing."
Now that being said, I am always thinking hashtag capital C content. I kind of want to print these out and give them to our significant others, our wives and girlfriends. And I kind of want them to fill it out. And maybe next week I'm going to have a little homework for the wives and see what they say. Because I think that would be funny.
Oh, yeah. If it was for me, my pocket's probably full of nothing as well.
Full of Taco Bell packets.
Wait, we have a new contender on the desk, boys. Okay, so as you know, you always make fun of me that I got like Taco Bell. I got a new one. We got Chick-fil-A Zesty Buffalo.
Ooh, I haven't tried Zesty Buffalo.
That's a good one.
I have a question here.
Yes.
Okay.
Why do you have sauces by your desk?
Well, I eat lunch at my desk. When I'm working, I work from home. So sometimes I have a few packets and
Okay,
containers left
makes
over.
sense. That makes sense. Okay.
And sometimes it comes in handy if you're eating something else, and what go good with this? Some fire sauce.
All right, fair enough.
Fair enough. Johnny, how was your Father's Day?
It was great. Obviously I was spending time with my daughter, and she on Sunday she wanted to surprise me, and so she woke me up at 6 o'clock in the morning,
Oh
and
my God! This is.
hold
I
on,
was like, go back to
hold
sleep.
on, hold on. So she woke me up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Missy also like woke up with her as well too, and she gave me a Father's Day card. She gave me a Father's Day card that she made by herself, which was very. I loved it. I always liked the homemade cards. It wasn't store bought. It was made from love. So I love that part. But she wanted to cook breakfast at 6 a.m. I said, I love everything that you're doing right now, but can you just wait just a little bit so I could kind of like wake up and, get myself, ready for the day. So so I couldn't go back to sleep. She was still up, and she was like, all right, 7 o'clock. Are you ready now? I'm like,
Early bird breakfast.
early bird breakfast. She was wanting to help out and do all this stuff. And I said, no, can you just wait like another hour? She's like, okay, what about 7:30? I'm like,
She's bargaining.
she's bargaining. So we met halfway. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll wait till 7:30. So her and Missy helped out cooking breakfast for me, and she made an egg sandwich, and she brought it to me, and um, it was great. Everything about it was great. I had a really great time over the weekend, so I couldn't be even more happier. So it was a
Can't
good
complain. Can't complain.
Yes.
The good thing
Awesome.
about eating breakfast that early, that means early lunch too. So did you have lunch like at 10:30?
No, I had no lunch at all, and I'll explain that a little later.
Oh,
At the end
okay,
of the
that's a
show.
tease. I like that.
Yes.
So was she actually gonna cook it? Does she actually know how to make breakfast, or is it more of
No,
like I want
no,
to?
no, no,
She
no,
wants
no, no,
she
no,
wants
no.
you to
Yeah,
make
so
it, and
she
she's
basically Missy helped cook it, and she helped with like putting it together and all that. So it's the effort. The effort counts.
yes.
So I was very
I mean, they have like the
happy.
Master Chef
Yeah.
Juniors nowadays. Who knows? Maybe she's in, doing a little creme fraiche on the eggs and everything.
Be a
you,
next
you think
Bobby
you think
Flay
she's
type
making
of like.
she's making chilaquiles in the morning?
Hey, get the oil out, man.
Yeah,
All the fixins.
yeah, all the fixings. But no, it was a nice show.
Fixins.
Yeah. So I had a great weekend. It was fun, and I couldn't no complaints here.
Nice, Joey. How you doing, man?
Hermanos, I'm doing great. I had an awesome weekend. One of my cousins, the P family's growing out in Berwyn, had a wedding on Saturday night at 10. Shout out my cousin Alejandro and his new wife Melissa. It was a great time as always. And
Nice.
yeah, I mean it was
Salud.
gracias. And then yesterday, obviously spending some times with Pops. So and Sandy's in particular. A shout out to all the dads out there. But I'm very excited for this week, guys, and I want to ask all three of you. This is NBA draft week. The draft for the NBA is tomorrow night, and then the NHL draft is this Friday night. So it's draft week. So I wanted to ask all three of you, doesn't matter what sport it is, just tell me what your favorite draft moment of all time was.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams?
I mean, yeah, I think it's. You know what though? Caleb Williams was great. I think it has to be Derrick Rose just because we had like
Mhm.
1% odds of getting him at the time. I mean, obviously I was too young for the Jordan, and there's not really many other number one draft picks of note that we want to be like, oh yeah, like he was the great, it was because like a lot of the good athletes in Chicago weren't usually number one overall draft picks, right? So now we got Bedard, Caleb. So, and soon to be Rock Chalowski. But yeah, I think for me, it's definitely Derrick Rose.
Now is it like what you know now, or because like you don't know how the development of like Rose, you know what you were gonna get, but like when Toews was drafted, when Kane was drafted,
Yeah, I forgot Kane. Sorry, that's my fault.
there was
Hand
a
up.
lot of like you don't know if this is gonna pan out or not. So is it more like what you know now, like because I would say Kane. I mean Kane, he was also an MVP, but he brought in 3 Stanley Cups along with the other core. So I mean I got to go with Kane.
No, it's hindsight, right? You're right,
Yeah.
Johnny. Hindsight has a lot to do with it because we were all gassed up for who was it, Chris Williams or Mitch
Cade
Trubisky
McNown.
or Cade McNown, like Rex Grossman. Like we're gassed up about a bunch of these guys. Lev Shinoff, that bum. Everyone's gassing up Lev Shinoff. He stinks. But it's true. It's hindsight.
Joey, who's yours?
Well, you took mine, HBIC. Derrick Rose for me, definitely, because the Chicago ties, exactly what you said about the draft lottery odds to actually be in the lottery and get up to number 1. It was like the Pope was poping before he was Pope that night. So, and obviously the historic career. What he's also doing for the city now post-career. He's still very involved in the city and the team still. So it's D Rose.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
let me ask you this then. Kane, number 1 pick, brings 3 Stanley Cups, Chicago. Let's say Caleb just brings 1. Does he automatically jump that list just because it's Bears?
For me, yes. Because but that's me because I put the Bears so much higher than the Blackhawks.
Over the dynasty Blackhawks.
And it also has to do a lot. And don't get me wrong, like Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson, they're building something where it's not just Caleb, it's Rome. It's going to be a bunch of these guys. Kane had the benefit of having Toews there. He was already the captain. He was already very good. So it's like it was a duo. It wasn't necessarily just Kane, right? It was Kane and Hossa and everyone else, Duncan Keith and everything like that. As good as Kane was, they had a great, system around him. So yeah, no, I think 1 Caleb championship trumps 3 hockey championships, at least in my math.
Okay. I don't know about that. Like I mean I get that because we're such Bears fans, but also like would you have to also see him like win an MVP as well too? I would assume that if the Bears win the Super Bowl, he probably would be the MVP as well too that same year.
I don't know. The way NFL voting goes, man, they still might give it to like Mahomes or some shit. Even if Caleb won an MVP or won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it also how you win, right? Like if it's one of these like 85 Bears where it's like we assume Ben Johnson and the offense is going to be lights out, but say Dennis Allen turns it around and all of a sudden the Bears have a classic Bears defense with the linebackers and the secondary and everything like that, and they win all these games like how Bears usually win games. That kind of taints the Caleb championship. But we're all assuming it's going to be run and gun. It's going to be Caleb, putting up 30, 40 points and stuff like that. So I guess it all depends.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll get that Super Bowl sooner or later. Speaking of...
Question for you guys. Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
Now, I'm in soccer mode. I'm in full-blown soccer mode. How many Fire championships equals 1 Bears Super Bowl?
5.
10? They have
10.
to win a decade worth of championships?
Actually, can we talk about this real quick? Because I just saw this. Chicago actually won a championship this weekend.
The Hounds.
Yes, they did.
Rugby. So we got to, I mean, it's a Chicago Sports Bums podcast. We got to mention the championship here. The rugby team won.
I can't believe we buried the lead. When's the parade? Is it
right?
down Harlem and 71st? I'll be there.
I happened to turn it on right when it was starting, and they brought like the dog out to give like in the backpack to take the rugby, football, whatever you want to call it, out. I'm like, man, that's an awesome mascot, man. Dog on the shoulder. Here's the ball.
Undefeated season. Credit to the Hounds.
Yep.
That's awesome.
You know what? Mercury Morris is rolling in his grave right now.
Yeah, suck a dick, Mercury Morris.
So since our Bears podcast is showing, I'm gonna do a quick Bears note. Because we're gonna talk Sox for a long time here. We got some things to say. I saw this article. It came as cost as like a Google headline. Bears predicted to acquire edge rusher Josh Sweat. This is from Sports Illustrated that there's rumors or theories that the Bears would be the top landing spot for Arizona Cardinals edge rusher Josh Sweat. Bleacher Report predicted that recently. Sports Illustrated had that as well. Do we want the Sweat brothers, on the line in 2026? You think Papa Pole's got would you want this move to happen?
Depends on what's going to cost us.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would assume it's going to be a pretty penny. But I mean, we got the Montgomery brothers on the south side. Give me the Sweat brothers on the lakefront. Like, yeah, give me all of
the merchandise writes itself right there, guys. So many puns.
Instead of like the nasty boys with all the checker, like all the colors, we could just put sweaty boys or something like that.
The sweaty boys. Yeah.
Sweaty balls.
Yeah.
Josh Sweat is very good. He's a very good football player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think the Cardinals are going to be a very good team this year. But if he is on a trade block, I hope it happens because, that I'm okay trading the 32nd pick in the draft.
Yeah.
You got to figure out the cap space in it too if they make
for
a deal
the production
like
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's all my Bears talk. Because if we talk too much Bears, we might get pigeonholed.
You know what? We'll talk Bears for an hour right now. Do we just start talking McCook, or we'll say that for later?
All right, let's get to some Sox talk, gents, shall we? As always, our White Sox content is fueled by TasteRealChicago.com. Go there right now, TasteRealChicago.com, and get yourself everything you need for July is next week. People, you need your beef kits, your jardiniere, your seasoning, your muffalettas. Get it all. TasteRealChicago.com. Tell them the Bum sent you. 4th of July is everything you need, right? Everything you need for 4th of July, right there. Get it now. All right. Let's talk the big news of the day. Sox right now. Sox are winning 2-0, top of the 6th. So go Sox. Brady Montgomery got a nice little run-in, nice little RBI there. But earlier today, Kyle Teel, he's back. Finally he made his season debut today. Kyle Teel up, Edgar Carroll sent down. I don't think that's a big surprise to anyone, seeing the way that Carroll's been hitting paltry 187. Thank you for winning the game against the Cubs and sending the Cubs into a spiral. Thank you for your service. Ever grateful. But Kyle Teel, he hit great in AAA last week on his rehab assignment. And now he's back. He's batting 4th. He's batting clean up in the lineup tonight. So thoughts on Teel up, Carroll down, boys?
I saw a lot of people, specifically Ken WO, and there's a couple other people talking about it, but they're worried that Kyle Teel was getting rushed up, considering he only caught one game during his rehab assignment. I'm okay with it. I think they need production from that catcher position. Drew Romo and Edgar Carroll weren't cutting it. We're going to talk a little bit about players by position and their WAR in a little bit. But Drew Romo and Edgar Carroll were hurting this team, both offensively and defensively. I mean, defensively, Edgar Carroll is right now one of the worst catchers in baseball. So it's not even the bat. He's just not cutting it on both sides of the plate. And I feel like we're all hoping Edgar Carroll gets sent down and finally kind of finds something a la Colton Montgomery. Because the talent was there. We saw the flashes of talent last season, and there's rumors that there's possibility he's hurt. Maybe he needs to get healthy. He played a lot of games, and he hasn't really had this much of a workload in his career. So maybe a fresh start for Edgar Carroll is a good thing, but we're ready for Kyle Teel. We've been waiting all season. We want the production. We want his pop. It's just going to help, especially with the fact that you're finally seeing the White Sox struggle without Munetaka Murakami. I feel like that first week they were able to get by without the home run power of Murakami, and now it's noticeable. Obviously, when you get your ass kicked by the Yankees and then drop some games that they shouldn't have dropped against the Tigers, it just exacerbates the fact. But they're hurting without Murakami, and I think Kyle Teal is not going to be that productive, but he is going to kind of bridge the gap. So if he's able to, find some pop and help, it's just going to be better for the White Sox because, like I said, Romo and Carroll weren't cutting it.
Yeah. Kyle Teal in Charlotte, 16 at-bats, 8 hits, 500 hit, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, and a double. So I don't really think there's anything for him to prove in Charlotte. Obviously, like you mentioned, Peter, the catching. But, yeah, I really want Edgar Carroll to succeed, but I just don't think that something's not right with him. And then just the way his production dropped drastically as compared to last season. So I hope they figure it out down in Charlotte and getting consistent playing time every day.
I'm kind of the same way where like it doesn't bother me that they rushed like him up here. I just don't understand why he's batting third. That's the thing that it's confusing me a little bit.
They switched him from third to fourth.
Even then, third, fourth, for him coming back, you're like, yes, he was hitting. Would you say it was 500?
Yeah.
With those 16 at bats. I still think that's a little bit too quick for him going up fourth in the batting lineup. Because it's a lot different. It's a lot different speed. And I think he just needs to get a little bit more acquainted in the lineup where he could have just like batted like maybe 8th or 9th or maybe 7th. But for I don't know what Venables thinking. I mean, again, it could be something where he's just like anytime somebody comes up from the minors, especially Teal's such a locker room guy, everybody misses him. We all miss him. He's looking for a spark, maybe just because of what happened on the road trip. Then I could see what he's trying to do here, but I just think putting him in the lineup that high, I don't agree on. But we'll see. We'll see if it pans out. I don't know what he batted so far in today's game, but yeah, it's definitely something that they need to spark on, and hopefully, I don't know when Murakami's going to come back, but we desperately do need him because it's a different lineup when he's in there. And obviously, Teal's going to start, he's going to get to a point where he's going to be batting how we expect him to bat, expect him to catch. So I know it's going to take a little bit of time, and you got an important series with Cleveland, and you just got to win the games, man. You got to survive here and not start falling back again, because then you're going to just, get yourself in trouble, especially that Cleveland doesn't have Jose Ramirez right now. You have to capitalize on this, especially to capitalize on your own division. I can't think of division. Your AL Central, basically. So, trying to think here. Sorry, guys. Case of the band Mondays here, but yeah. Hopefully it pans out again. But that remains to be seen. And I hope everything goes well.
I mean, even with his 0 for 2 start with 2 Ks, like, yeah, there's going to be some rust he's going to have to knock out. He can't be much worse than Caro and Romo.
Don't say that.
Knock on wood. All right, knock on wood, everybody.
Yeah.
No, but I'm a fan of whatever Teal can bring, just as much as presence. His bat's going to take some time, right? He's just got called up, so his bat's going to take some time. His presence in the clubhouse, hopefully, is going to provide some sort of spark in the lineup, and then he's going to start swinging away and then contributing as he should be, right? Because I think it was pregame tonight. I was catching some of Chuck and Ozzy pregame tonight, and they had the stat that the White Sox ranked from the catcher position offensively either 28th, 29th, or like dead last in MLB. Obviously. So we wish the best for Caro. Pedro, you said it. I mean, he likely has been hurt. He's been like an Iron Man, battery man back there behind the plate for pretty much all season, half the season already. So it's very admirable that he played, but he probably, not been 100%. So obviously that can have a lot to do with his bat not being where we expected it to be. Batting left-handed last year, he was like over 320, I think it was, between him and Teal playing the platoon at catcher offensively. So hopefully he gets everything right. I'm confident. He's young. He can figure it out down there before he gets called back up. Maybe it'll be, a September call-up, hopefully before then. And Murakami, when he comes back, hopefully in the next month or so, I think they said today he's running at 80% speed.
Yep.
Murakami is. So, I mean, it's just a little blip in the radar, but all in all, Kyle Teal, he is more than welcome in this clubhouse right now to provide some sort of spark.
Question, because I didn't see that 80% speed on Murakami. And we always talk about you don't want to rush players back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you have Murakami and that type of prodigious power, any chance you rush him up and just solely DH him? Just be like, don't even fucking run. Just almost like a softball player, you wrap it up like ace bandages, like a softball player at a Gage Park. You're not running. All you're going to do is hit for power and go.
I mean, so I know he's a true 3-outcome pitcher, right? It's walk, strikeout, home run. And occasionally he does get a single, double. But do you really get to trust him trying to stretch out first to sec?
He's a hustle guy. That's the problem. Is like
he's gonna do it.
Hits. He's almost like he doesn't. It's like for his own good. Like, don't run the fucking first base. Just trot. Take it easy. But he doesn't. He doesn't have that. He's got the TWTW. So you almost have to protect him from himself. But in my head, I'm like, oh, I didn't see that he's running at 80%. I'm like, 80% seems close.
So that was going to be one of my notes. I had a couple farm notes, but that was one of them, was that Murakami is getting up to 80%, and that Venable said that he would only get his rehab games as soon as he felt 100%. So what does that mean? Does that mean a couple days, couple weeks? Who knows what the timeline is, the status bar, but we could end of the week be hearing he's getting ready for Charlotte. Who knows?
Yeah, I did also hear today that they're hoping by next week to have him on the field, at least taking some defensive drills.
Okay.
We got a Gritchick home run.
All right. So Gritchick home run. What are we at? 3-0?
3-0.
All right. That's good. What inning is it?
Bottom of the 6th, boys.
Bottom of the 6th. That game's going to be over. Chiri's going to be home by the time I got to talk about what I want to talk about. So tune in for that. But we got a challenge here. Mailman Jack saying, I'm going to the game tomorrow, challenging everyone on air and in the comments to a hot dog eating contest. Ooh. Who's in? Reminder that it's $5 Tuesdays tomorrow.
All right. I want Jack to do the foot-long Comiskey dog. I want to just up it, right? Hot dog eating contest, foot-long hot dog.
Foot-long eating contest? That sounds like something you search on the internet, Jason.
Yeah. All right. So, obviously, what a difference a week makes. After coming off the highs of the Braves and the Dodgers, disaster on the road, New York, Detroit, not good. They get swept in Detroit. They take one. They salvage one in the Bronx. And we talked about this last week, that going on the road, they couldn't revert back to their home and away splits, that they had to kind of keep some of the momentum going after taking 2 or 3 from the Dodgers, after beating the Rays twice. I'm just going to say they swept the Braves, right? But
yeah,
we all know that. Here's the thing. New York is a hard place to play. We all know that. It's a it's fucking bandbox. They pushed it. And I thought that kind of would benefit the Sox left-handed hitters, the way the field is pushed in. I thought the Sox were able to kind of just outmatch, the Yankees and try and put up some runs. But the pitching and the defense, obviously, we felt the Sox this week. And then it started with, we had Davis Martin on the mound, and we're like, okay, good. Davis Martin, good. The Sox defense just went back to fucking Little League style of play. Jacob Gonzalez at first, just running towards the pitcher's mound on a ground ball to Mydroff. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, this is why, Peter, you were mentioning about Murakami rushing him back. you can tell like with him not at first how the whole defense with the alignment shifts, like and how everyone's kind of out of place. Jacob Gonzalez is not a first baseman. He's played shortstop. I think that experiment has to be over now. You have to either keep him as a backup for the infielder, keep Miguel at first at this point. I don't want to see Jacob Gonzalez at first anymore. I don't think has the I don't want to say the mental, but like
he's just not a first baseman.
He's not a first baseman. It's not his position.
Yeah, but we knew it was going to be tough in New York. I was hoping because Davis Martin was on the mound. I kept saying how throughout the season Davis Martin is the stopgap. Even when the starting pitching has gone bad, Davis Martin's old reliable. He had a bad outing. He didn't have the defense behind him. That's going to happen. The upsetting part is the Detroit series because you could argue they probably should have won 2 of those games at least. Or they should have. They were competitive in 2 of those games. They should have won them. Those are the games you can't drop. Like you tell me they're going to the Bronx and you either get swept or you win one of the games. That's great, awesome. That's a bonus. But we keep talking about the division games, and we keep talking about how big this Cleveland series is. Well, before the Cleveland series, you play the Twins and the Tigers, and they started off the June losing to the Twins. Now you go and get swept by the Tigers. That's the shit that can't happen, especially when you're competing in the division and you're trying to keep pace with the Guardians. And this is not a good AL Central. This AL Central is bad. So it's like, I know we're ahead of schedule. And now maybe I'm being greedy. I know that there's going to be bad weeks. Like it wasn't going to be that May wasn't sustainable. Like between the talent and the production and everything else and the pitching, like I know that there's going to be bad weeks, but it's frustrating when it's bad weeks against the division. That's what frustrates me.
I said it last week about how, yes, it is impressive that we beat the Dodgers and the Braves at home, but I had to see more on the road. And you had the Yankees, and then you have your AL Central Division foe in the Tigers, and I don't know what it is with them being on the road. I don't know like what can be done to fix this, but something has to be done. Maybe everybody in the bench needs to get wands just like Vassal or something.
More wands, more magic.
More wands. Change something up on the road so you can get something going because Yankees 2 out. Them taking 2 out of 3 with us. That was going to be a hard series. You can't get swept by the Tigers. I'm sorry. Just that's something you can't do. Yes, I know Schoolball's back. But we had that game. We had the game. I think it's frustrating because it was more frustrating that you should have won those games in Detroit, and then now you're playing the next couple games against the AL Central. You got to capitalize, and especially that we're home. That's great. We're very good at home, so hopefully we do capitalize, and we do take the series. Be nice if we could sweep them as well too, because you're battling first place right now, so you got to do whatever you can to take advantage of it. But you mentioned something, Peter, about sustaining what has been going on with the season and what the expectations are. Maybe this is also a sign that hey, maybe we got to come down to earth just a little bit.
We got ahead of our skis, but we didn't know. We don't know. It's something we talk about. We don't know how to act when they're good because we get excited. They haven't been good for 4 seasons.
Yes, we don't know what this team is truly going to be because you got to think too. This is a very young team. Can they do this for the rest of the season? It's good. It's a good start. They had that whole run and it's great, but you gotta continue doing more, managing as well too. I know we're going to get into that, but just everything, this whole team all around it, just you have to, keep your eye on the prize. You got to make sure that, you're winning your games. You're not losing it by mental mistakes like that, Jacob Gonzalez. And I get it. Like people are gonna make errors, but that was a really bad error. Like he wasn't even going towards the base, and that's just confusing. Like even if you're not a first baseman, that's not your true position. You still have to have the baseball IQ to know that hey, you still have to cover first base. It's just stuff like that just irritates me as a baseball fan. Um, but like I said,
There you
you
go.
win the series, you win this week, you do well. A lot of the stuff that we were talking about last week, it gets thrown out. We're all excited again. We're all happy, So hopefully they win today, and hopefully it just continues on. Hopefully we can get back on a winning streak here.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I didn't jinx the Chicago White Sox by giving them too much credit this season for finally winning these close one-run games. Because I know I've been preaching that a lot in the last month or so, that they've finally been able to win one-run games and get over that hurdle. And then we see what happens in Detroit this weekend. And it kind of like takes the wind out of our sails, because obviously, as everybody already mentioned here in the panel, the Yankee series we knew was going to be hard going into. Lucky that we didn't get swept, okay? But the Detroit series, Johnny, you just said, is no excuse to get swept by the Detroit Tigers, especially the presence that we already have in the standings, the presence that we've already, when we handled them last time we faced them. It's just right now is your chance to redeem yourself. If you're able, Chicago White Sox, I hope you're listening on the field right now. They're probably not, because they're playing. No
Somebody's
chance.
listening. Somebody's listening.
Someone's listening in the dugout, hopefully. You got to sweep Cleveland right now. This is your redeemable moment. If you pick up these games over Cleveland, you regain all your lost chances to try to build up a lead in the first place. So you have to take advantage of this series. So hopefully they sweep them. The bullpen has been trash the last 6 games. So hopefully that gets figured out. We need a new closer, guys. I don't know. I know that
we're gonna talk Tony. We're gonna talk Tony here
Yeah.
in a couple of minutes here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to show you this real quick too. Hopefully this comes up correctly. Yeah, it didn't really. I was trying, but these on the left here,
Row numbers.
on
Yeah,
the,
there's
the,
a lot of numbers.
the left numbers are their batting at home, and the right numbers are their batting on the road. So it's like the batting average, the on base, the slugging, the OPS. They're very similar. It's the pitching that's really the bugaboo on the road. Because here I'm going to show you in a second here, and it's going to get more bunch of numbers on the screen. ERA is at home 3.41 versus 5.39 on the road. Opponent batting average 221 at home, 262 on the road. And then you look at the difference in slugging and OPS. It's the road. Them hitting on the road isn't that much of a difference. It's the pitching for some reason. They can't fucking figure it out as soon as they leave the rate.
Yeah, and so Sean W. Anderson had something similar where he had a tweet basically showing the home and road splits. And yeah, like the offense is offensing both at home and on the road. They got a lot more home runs at home. That's to
Be expected.
given. But it's the pitching. And I know, Joey, you said, like the bullpen is trash, and it has been trashed. I mean, the starting pitching is right there with them. I mean, besides Davis Martin, like we keep talking about like Sean Burke had a good outing this last game where they did the opener thing, and then he ended up pitching like 7 innings and finishing out the game that way. But it's always like up and down with them. It's up and down with Kay. It's up and down with Burke. It's up and down with Fetty, where it's like you can't trust them. We're hoping that they're going to have a good outing, but we don't know. And we're to the point where I know, like, it's too early to start talking trade, and I understand that. Like, it's probably closer to July. But, like, in my head, I don't know if it's going to be just Schultz and McDougal or whoever you call up, Hulk, like Hagen Smith, even though he's hurt right now. Like, there might have to at least, like, trade for, I'm not saying, like, a ace, but, like, a number 4, a number 5, like something,
yeah,
something to alleviate some of this.
Yeah. No, it's the splits are bad. So yeah, let's actually talk about Joey. You brought it up. I think we've seen. I at least me personally, I don't want to see Tony Dominguez closing anymore. Um, he's not a ninth inning guy in my opinion, and we've seen how good Brian Hudson is and Grant Taylor, and now I realize Grant Taylor's given up a couple home runs in the past couple of days, but he also gets a lot more strikes and strikeouts and whiffs than Tony Dominguez does. So I don't know what we need to do to convince Will that Grant Taylor or should be give an opportunity to close games, or Hudson should give an opportunity to close games. But for me, I think Tony is more of a seventh or eighth inning guy at this point. I don't care about the money. I do not care about that at all. If you're every time he's pitching out there, if you're getting the fucking shits because he's giving up base hits, he's walking guys, he's loading them up, and now he's blowing a game. It's I'm done with it. No more Tony in the ninth.
Yeah, I think it's just the eyeball test. You don't even have to put up his stats, but like he just looks more comfortable with a clean inning in the seventh and eighth inning.
Mm-hmm.
He's a setup guy, and that's okay. It's okay. Look around the league. It's okay to be paying setup guys a little bit more than what the White Sox are playing. It's just we're playing by White Sox rules with these contracts, right? Benintendi and now Sir Anthony Dominguez, they're getting paid a lot of money in White Sox standards, but like good teams pay these guys, good arms, and now he hasn't been good. He hasn't earned the contract, but it would be more serviceable if you just told me he's going to pitch the seventh and eighth inning and they're going to be clean innings and he's going to get, 1, 2, 3, and he's more comfortable in that role. Fine. Do that the rest of the season. Never let him pitch the ninth again. But if that's the case, then you got to go with Grant Taylor, and you got to stop doing the opener with Grant Taylor or putting him in high leverage situations in the fifth and sixth innings, and you got to pick and choose your spots. If you're going to say Grant Taylor's a closer, then just stick him at the closer position and don't move him. Because right now you got him, he's the basically Swiss Army knife. You got him starting one game, you got him in the fifth one game, you're closing a couple games, and that's fine. He's been awesome, and yeah, he hasn't been good this week. I know people were complaining about Sir Anthony Dominguez, and I'm like, well, Grant Taylor gave up a home run in the eighth. If Grant Taylor doesn't give up that home run, we're not talking about Sir Anthony Dominguez. So it's like, I get it. We're focusing our anger on Tony Dominguez, and rightfully so, but Grant Taylor wasn't great this week.
Yeah. And we can also make at least I'm going to make a case that if that ground rule double doesn't happen, we get the extra one.
I think you were going back and forth with Beef Loaf about it, right?
Yeah. I think they would have came around and scored, and it would have been an easy.
But it's like what if? If the queen had a ball, she'd be king. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that type of you don't know how this would be. You just gotta win the games. That's just what it comes down to. You can't just pinpoint off of just one thing. If you would have done this, you would have done that. They just gotta win, and that's something they just gotta start learning how to do better. It's good to win these close games. Just how Joey was mentioning that these 1-1 games, they were coming back, they were winning, but you got to learn, you got to figure out different ways to win, especially on the road. That's my whole thing. If you're gonna compete, you're gonna go for a long haul. Like we're gonna be talking about trades and all that. I got to see more from these guys. You got to start winning on the road and stop doing these mental mistakes. That's what comes down to.
And I was going to say to what you were saying earlier, Peter, like the change has to be made at closer. Because there were stats out there that Dominguez in non-save situations has an ERA under 1. And Grant Taylor in save situations so far this year has an ERA under 1. So I don't know what the hold
is. We have analytics guys, right? Chris Getz brought all the stat nerds. So what are we doing here then? It's the money. Yeah, Sox 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2, top of the seventh, 1 out. They got a man on first and third.
Yeah, Taylor is in, and he's at 23 pitches. So
hold on to your butts. Yeah, but yeah, Grant Taylor. He gave up that home run on Sunday. He also wasn't that great earlier in the week. Who was it with in New York? So yeah, I mean, obviously, just put him in a closer. And Joey, if you're saying like it's just the eyeball test, Dominguez
So
is not a closer.
So then that begs to the question then, is it time we have to start talking about, I mean, we've kind of talked about it a little bit throughout the season, but more so now about Will Venable's game management, because obviously he's struggling with managing this pitching staff. Now, with the closer, I'm over the openers. Like
Why?
because I think we could have used Sean Newcomb in a better situation at the end of the game as opposed to pitching 3 innings off the top. I think we need that more at the tail end.
Okay, but if Newcomb's not starting, and K is opening the game and giving up 4 runs, we don't need Newcomb in the 8th or 7th or 6th. I think Will Venable. Don't get me wrong. He's made some mistakes. He's made some questionable decisions. I think he's dealt a tough hand between the bullpen and the starting pitching and the talent and the lack thereof. He's in a tough position, man, because no one's complaining about the last 2 times they did this like opener. The last 2 wins have come during opener games. Like it was the Yankees series, and then the last time they beat the Dodgers on a Sunday, they did the opener, and then they did Newcomb. Actually, I have it right here. So Thursday's win against New York, it was Hudson for an inning and an inning and 2/3, 0 earned runs, and then Burke finished out the game. The Dodgers game where the Sox won 6-4, it was Hudson, Newcomb, Fetty. Fetty got the win, and then Taylor Dominguez, and they won 6-4. So like when the Sox are winning, the last 2 times they've won, nobody's complaining about the openers. It's just like when, K and everyone else kind of shits the bed. It's just a lack of talent. Like we wouldn't be in this position.
I'd also make the argument though that if you're going to pitch Newcomb 3 innings, then stretch him out to a starter.
Yeah, is that Will Venable's decision, or is that now on Chris Getz and like the pitching coaches?
And we got a tie ball game.
Hold on to your butts. Fuck. Don't get me wrong. In the perfect world, I think they would stop doing this, and they do it more than anybody. The openers. I just think they're trying to win games by hook or by crook, and it's like it's catching up to them.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the openers?
It's how Peter was mentioning. It's the talent that we have. I mean, you're dealt with what you have, so you have to be creative of how you put out your players out there. Yes, was it working the past couple of times? Sure. Will this sustain for the rest of the season? Probably not, because then you're gonna burn. I feel like you could burn your bullpen out that way, in a sense. So if you're gonna compete, if you are going to, go into this playoff push, because obviously we're right in it still. And you're gonna, obviously Getz is gonna have to make these decisions. Who you're gonna have to trade here, to get good starting pitching, because I think at the end of the day, you're gonna have to have starting pitching. You can't do this whole bullpen, have them as the opener and then all of a sudden switch over to the starter. You have to have actual starters playing, because you're gonna need your bullpen at the end of the season. I mean that's just a given. Yes, has it been working? Yes. I don't want to see it for the long haul, for the whole season, just because I don't want to burn our bullpen. And hopefully something does happen with the trade deadline, depending if we're still there. I'm not trying to put any bad juju on us, so don't be throwing that at me. But I'm just saying, if we're still there, we're still competing, we're still in the playoff race, I say you go get a starter or 2 to help out, here for the long haul.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Johnny, because at this point, and I'm out on the opener thing myself, because it's already run its course. And Johnny, what you're mentioning, you don't want to burn out the bullpen. Well, we're already almost halfway through the season. So at this point, I think that's what Will maybe is trying to do by doing these weird opening games, because he's already taxed these arms in the bullpen already as is. So he's trying to do like load management, kind of like an NBA talk, load management with his arms right now. He doesn't want to get guys too tired. So that's why maybe Peter, that's why he did the 3 innings on Sean Newcomb the other day or whatever. But who knows if he needed to use him again the next game or want to give him the next game off. So maybe that's why the decision was to let him go 3 innings and not longer. So when you come to think about it, it's just, yeah, Peter, you said it. It's all on Getz because he has to be able to do something as far as bringing in actual starting pitchers that can give you at least a 70 to 80 pitch outing and maybe go 4 or 5 innings because we don't have enough of those guys right now. And unfortunately, we've said it before, the farm system doesn't have them either. So you got to go and get them from somewhere. Find us a Johnny Cueto from a couple of years ago that can come in and shock us. And man,
sign me for Johnny Cueto now. What is he doing?
Right.
Riding horses? Give us 5 innings, Johnny Cueto.
give me Bartolo Colon.
I want to ask you guys. I want to ask you guys or question here. This is kind of just trivia here. How many games do you think this? It's June 22nd right now, so we can let's exclude today. How many games do you think Grant Taylor has pitched this month in June?
Oh, in June.
Yeah.
So they had like 3 off days. I'm gonna say 15.
Joey,
I was going to say 16.
Johnny,
I'm gonna say 20.
Grant Taylor has pitched 5 games this month.
Oh wait, I don't know why I'm thinking he didn't pitch for like a week. Like he played on Sunday and then he didn't pitch again until like yesterday, basically. I don't know. That was a brain fart.
He pitched 5 times this month: the 3rd, the 6th, the 9th, the 14th, and the 21st. Okay, question 2: how many times do you think Sean Newcomb has pitched this month?
More than Grant Taylor.
Give me a number.
8.
Johnny,
20.
Joey,
18.
Every day.
Sean Newcomb has pitched a total of 6 times in June. Now he did have a little bit of an injury thing, but they didn't put him on the IL. But he pitched the 2nd, the 6th, the 10th, the 14th, the 17th, and the 22nd, where he went the three innings. Now my final question to you guys: how many times has Brandon Iser pitched this month?
Oh, we've seen too much of it. We've seen too much of him. That's for sure. Whatever the number is, we've seen too much of Brandon Iser.
20.
10.
12.
9 times he's
Okay.
pitched. So I mean, like, and this is what I'm talking about, the Will Venable like game management. You know, it's like you got your best guys are pitching handful, and you got Brandon Isert with his fucking 11 the last week is 11, but he's got a 6 ERA and he's pitching 9 times for the year. And this is what I'm kind of like, we kind of have to start questioning whether he knows how to manage a bullpen or not. Brian Hudson, he's pitched 7 times. So you got your best guys are pitching the least amount of times.
From those stats, who's pitched the most in June?
In June,
Yeah,
Hudson.
10. That's what you said. So he's been used the most in June.
Hudson has pitched 7 times. Isert has pitched 9 times. So he was. I'm just looking at those 4 right now. But you're asking me of the 3: Grant Taylor, Sean Newcomb, and Brian Hudson, who's pitched,
Or just bullpen arms. I just wonder who's
Oh.
been used the most in June. Because
I have to.
and I'm just saying, like, they said that Grant Taylor was not hurt, but like how JT's saying he's hurt. Like, it just seems weird that he pitched yesterday and he didn't pitch like since Sunday. Like, you would think it's not like a management thing, like, or like a load management thing, or like a situation.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
That's why I don't get why he didn't try to at least go 2 innings or at least start the 9th. yesterday.
Right,
I
but
mean,
we
like,
don't know. Like we just don't know if like they're like, oh, we're not gonna put him on IL, but we're gonna give him a couple extra days because he's been so worked in April and May. I mean, like I said, like they had him out there as a starter or opener, and then you're using him in high leverage situations. We don't know if like, oh, maybe his arm is a little taxed, and that's why he's giving up these home runs of late. And maybe he just needs another extra couple days. That's the thing. Is like it's speculation at this point.
right. I mean, and it could just be like Brian Knight just tweeted out that, it could just be rust that he has from not pitching for a week.
Yeah. That's true too.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we can talk more bullpen down the road here. We'll see how it goes. Peter, but you want to talk some WAR here for a minute.
Yeah, so I've been following this guy, and he does it like every Monday. And you know what? Because I'm an old man and I can't see his name on the
reading glasses
on the graphic here. So I'm gonna pull it up on my phone, and then that way I can give him credit where credit is due. Hold on one second. Give me a second. I'm gonna.
Damn, I can look at these with the glasses a lot better.
TJ Stats at TJ Stats is his name. He does a great job. He's been doing like all-star voting stuff and just a bunch of stuff. So it's a good follow. But he updates these every week, and I just want to talk about White Sox players by position because we're saying like they're overachieving in a lot of different positions. Like you tell me Munetaka Murakami is still a 2-WAR player and he hasn't played in June. And he's leading the AL Central as a first baseman. That's awesome. But like we mentioned before, Edgar Caro, he's a negative WAR player, and like anything Kyle Teal can give, better than what Romo and Caro has been doing. So we don't have to focus on the entire league, but especially in the AL Central, which the White Sox are shockingly competitive, and we're talking about them, they're down a game basically against the Guardians, but the Guardians aren't world beaters right now, and especially with their star player being hurt, like there's room to be made here. So I just want to give you like obviously Murakami, awesome, right? He should be an all-star even at like with his injury. And then from there, Caro is the next guy. Second base, Chase Mydroff, good, right? He's been, by all accounts,
and he's been better of late too.
Yeah, he's actually having a good June. Like he's one of the rare guys that are having a good June. And then Miguel Vargas, I think he should, and ignore the Kevin McGonigal thing because he's going to be at third base or he's going to be at shortstop. What are we doing here? White Sox.
We're back up, baby. Get the word out that we're back up. Antonacci.
You know what? I can hear it from over here. I can hear the crowd.
You hear the fireworks?
No, I can hear the crowd. Like I literally could hear the crowd.
That's awesome.
Something was up. I couldn't check, but I could hear the crowd from here.
Colton Montgomery? No, I'm just saying Colton Montgomery, obviously awesome. He's having a hell of a year. I mean, no White Sox has been faster to 40 home runs in their career, right? He just hit that mark. And then we get the left field where Sam Antonacci hasn't even been here the whole year, and he's at 1.3 WAR. Very good. He's third among AL Central players. Tristan Peters, awesome. So we're not going to talk trade deadline, but besides catcher, which they're not going to make a move because of Kyle Teal, right field is where I wanted to talk about because right now they still have Everson Pereira there because he's actually technically played more games there.
Yes.
I know Randall Grichuk was there for a while, and Grichuk is actually good. I think Grichuk is good as like a platoon role player. But are we worried about the White Sox right field? And we said we have, the right fielder of the future after 1 week. And then now all of a sudden I feel like people are like, is maybe not.
No, I'm still in on Brady Montgomery. He's had obviously he's going to have his ups and downs. He got the RBI today. If you look, yesterday he had a couple hits. Saturday he had a hit. Yeah, he had a couple games where he wasn't getting anything, but as long as he's taking some walks, and getting hits, it's gonna be up and down. And I'm happy that he got the RBI double today. So good for him. I think he just needs more at bats. I'm looking right now, going in today, he only had 39 at bats. So, let's have the test when he gets to 100. Let's circle back, as they say in the business world.
And then Benintendi is still negative WAR, but he's had since Murakami's been gone. Benintendi is one of the only guys that have actually been productive. So I'm not too worried about that. Luis Angel Acuna, bad. I'm just saying, like, a lot of the times we're talking about, like, where can the White Sox improve and, like, how aggressive should be at the trade deadline. I think starting pitching, bullpen for sure. But if we're going to address some sort of position players after seeing that, there's not much to really address other than maybe another right fielder or possibly, like, a DH utility guy.
I don't know if they're necessarily going to do another right fielder with, I think they're going to hope that, Pereira and Hayes get back healthy and they're able to contribute. I would say backup catcher at this point, but I think they're going to want to see how Carroll does for the next month or month and a half, because the deadline's in the beginning of August this year, I think. So Carroll's got basically a month to prove that he could be a viable everyday backup. When I say everyday backup, just means you're on the big league and you're getting three times a week.
Two games a week.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be all in on pitching at this point. Antonacci seems like he's still. You have to remember Antonacci. What'd you have on there, Peter? He had a 1.7 WAR, for left field.
Yeah, he hasn't been here the whole season either. So
1.3. Yeah. He's never played left field. That's the thing. He was always a shortstop. So
yeah,
like the fact that he's doing, having 1.3 and playing left field. Yeah, is he having mistakes? Is he the bad cutoff sometime? Yes, but he'll get better with that, and he hasn't been atrocious defensively in left field.
No, he's been much better of late too. I was pretty critical about him. Like the first 2-3 weeks he was there, you could tell that like it takes some getting used to, right? But he's athletic enough to be able to like cover up a lot of the mistakes. I know a lot of times, like, he might get a bad read on it, but he's athletic enough to adjust. Sometimes make a diving play or something like that. And then again, like we've been talking about the Banana Boy, and I've been singing his praises, but the fact that Tristan Peters is at a 2 WAR right now, and like he's damn near close. Like I'm at this point arguing that Tristan Peters should be an all-star.
Well, what did I say in the beginning of a couple months ago that we were going to have 4 all-stars? It was going to be Mooney, Miguel, Montgomery, and I said Grant Taylor.
Yeah,
Grant Taylor's stock might be slipping a bit, so hopefully not. But
Davis
maybe
Martin,
Tristan Peters.
Maybe I mean, he's had a couple bad outings, but he's still right up there.
Yeah,
in pitching.
Yeah, so I still think it's possible the Sox could get 4 all-stars out of this. Of course, the fan voting we got to start. We got to get some.
That's the problem.
We need the 108 tourney bots to start hammering.
Where's that Dougie bot where he's fucking your washer and dryer?
My washer's never worked the same since.
It works better.
All right, I had a quick couple farm notes too. But Joey, you took the one already. You said Munataka has oh my god, Murakami has ramped up 80%. But Noah Schultz on Sunday he threw a scoreless 2 2/3 inning, and he struck out 4 and he walked 1. So that was better than his previous start that he had. So I would imagine, he only threw 57 pitches. So obviously that's not enough. He's going to need at least one more, if not 2, before he's called up. Quick thinking of pitch count, going back to note. Will Venable pulling Davis Martin at 77 pitches. Egregious?
No.
Or smart?
People were pissed. Obviously, White Sox Twitter is unforgivable. When they're mad, they're mad. they said post game, everyone agreed. Even Davis Martin said, yeah, he was done. So it sometimes it's not about the pitches. It's about the efficiency. It's about the effort. It's about the stamina, almost like a video game, the stamina meter. Sometimes you could go 90 pitches and don't exert the same amount of effort as like a taxing 77. So, yeah, everyone was pissed at the time. What the hell? He probably could have came out for another inning. Everyone assumed that. And then you hear the post-game stuff, and I think it was James Fegan and a couple other people. They're like, no, he was done for the day.
You know what we need? Remember in Mike Tyson's Punch Out between rounds, Little Mac and Coach Doc, he would
you hit select enough times and he starts
then he goes faster. That's what Davis Martin needs between innings. We need a Doc.
Start hitting select a bunch of times.
That's what we got. That's what we got Vassal right there for.
Yeah, where's the wand? You got to get the wand.
Yeah, get Vassal's wand and just start doing the Punch Out.
Can we just quickly bum of the week Scooble for fucking talking shit and going after the wand? I'm like, what the fuck was that about?
That was
hater.
Useless conversation. I don't know.
Crazy.
He was just having a bad day because obviously, the Sox were beating him. So of course he's going to have something. You have to have something to like bitch at, and that's what he just pointed at Vassal. That's all.
He's a psychopath. He's not going to be on a Tigers much longer anyway.
Nah, he thought that he was trying to call him out for stealing signs. Come on.
Yeah, I heard.
Prove it.
All right. Whiskey at Comiskey, July 25th. We were just RSVPs are not open yet. We'll put that out in probably right after the 4th of July, the holiday. We'll start opening those up. But we obviously, we want to thank our guys, our people at Circa for, being there, being a part of this, have a table. So make sure next time you're there, sign up, download the app. But obviously JP Graziano's been a big hit all season long. Our friend John Schifrin, we got to try him out at the tailgate a couple of weeks ago, and he really liked, everything. So Off Hours Brewing, the beers will be back, and we got a new one. Joey, why don't you tell us?
We got Tequila Tejitas, local Chicago brand and owner is here from Chicagoland, lives and resides. So this is an awesome additive-free tequila because it's a tequila bum's way. And it's a banger. Y'all are going to enjoy it when you get to try it if you haven't already. Available everywhere across Chicagoland.
All right. So, yeah, Sox Astros, July 25th. We'll be celebrating the little bum's birthday. Me and Dougie, we're going to be having a little birthday bash in the Lot B. So get your tickets if you haven't already. No cake. Not in the July heat. No cookie cake, no ice cream, no cake at all.
Damn.
Nothing. All right, that was 50 minutes of White Sox talk for a non-White Sox podcast, guys.
Boom. Ain't nobody doing it like we do it.
All right, Peter, we got some headlines.
We do have some headlines. I'm going to start with one that Jason, you mentioned it when we're all in the group text together. You said, "Oh, we got to talk about this real quick." Jonathan Toews retired. I thought he retired already, but he's back, and then he retired again. So I'll let you and Joey P. wax poetic about Jonathan Toews and his career, even though I think we did this once before.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we did. Oh, captain, my captain. I mean, obviously, it was great to see him play for his hometown. Get that one last run that he rightfully deserved, even though it wasn't with the Hawks, because sometimes you don't want to you're forced to retire, not that because you want to, and he was away for the game for a while with just recovering and in sickness and everything, and it was great that he got one last run. And I think it's going to be a no-brainer. Numbers going in the rafters. It's got to be early in the season. I think if it's not in October, it's going to be early November or something. Joey, you can agree or disagree with me or not, but I think this is sign the 1 day. I haven't heard if he officially did it or not, but he should sign the 1 day contract, officially retire as a Blackhawk, and see up in the rafters soon next to Kaner.
Yeah, that's absolutely going to happen. definitely will happen at some point, probably mid-season. The Hawks are going to play coy about it and try to do like a special announcement like they tend to do for these kinds of big reveals. But guys, we got a surefire Hall of Famer in the National Hockey League, right? This guy was personification, one of the greatest leaders or captains of all time of any sport. And he was the second youngest NHL captain in the entire history of the NHL at only about 21 years old. So only Sidney Crosby at age 20 became captain of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that's why he beat Johnny in that stat. But still, at 20 years old, he earned the respect and command of a group much older than him, and by calling him Captain Serious, and because he was so stoic, and obviously he had the Hall of Fame career that you can see there for those on the screen, from 3 Stanley Cups, a Conn Smythe Trophy, the Selke Trophy, and 2 Olympic gold medals with Canada. Boo. But other than that, we are just blessed to have somebody that I'm sure is going to be around the franchise quite a bit. I'm not upset that he went home for his last season. That's common in the NHL pretty much. Duncan Keith did the same thing when he went back home to Ottawa. So that happens. It's just to give them that one, last hurrah in their hometown so their family gets to see them their last season. It's quite common around the NHL. But, oh, Captain, my captain, you will always be regarded as my favorite captain of all captains of any sports team in Chicagoland.
All right, question for you guys, and this is not me being a hater. I like to mess with the puck bums and be the antagonist when it comes to the draft and Davidson and everything else like that. But this goes for all sports. If you told me Derrick Rose and everything else, like, what does the retire as a Blackhawk 1-day contract? What purpose does that serve?
It's you're an ambassador to the team. It just shows you're coming.
You can still do that with, like, I just don't get it. Like,
I think it's more like I think it's more like ceremonial than it is.
Yeah, but it does
like a
nothing
necessity
for me. Like, Derrick Rose, after his time with the Knicks and the Wolves and everywhere else, he retired as a Bull. Who gives a fuck? He was a Bull. I like when he was awesome as a Bull, or I like Jonathan Toews when he was awesome winning trophies with the Blackhawks. The 1-day contract does nothing for me.
Okay, well, I pose this question for you then. How do you feel about Ozzy in August getting his day and his number retired? Do you feel the same way? Because I would liken it to the same scenario.
No, because Ozzy's been with the organization forever. He's been with the organization as an announcer and a coach and as a player. And it's rightfully, like, he doesn't need to sign a 1-day contract. He's, it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a hater. I just don't get the 1-day contract thing. I don't think it's necessary. And also, when he does sign this 1-day contract and retire as a Blackhawk, we're not giving him his flowers once again, because we've done this like 3 times. We were at the White Sox or at the Blackhawks game when he came back as a Jet and everyone was crying and White Sox Dave was with us and stuff like that. We've given him his flowers enough. Maybe I am being a hater. I'm sorry, Jonathan Toews. I love you. I'm staring at his jersey right now. I got him with my old jersey over there.
Yeah, I think it's more symbolic than it is anything.
Okay. All right, second headline. And I promised we were done talking stadium talk. I'm sorry ahead of time, but I got excited. I got excited about the possibility of the McCook Bears because, as a Southwest suburbs guy, and McCook is like right down the street, and Julie has ties to McCook, and I said the bums will tailgate at JC's Pub, and then we're going to get a Countryside Hooters post-game show. I'm excited about the possibility, but again, this is just another one of these, like, the politicians throwing their hat in the ring. It's a publicity stunt, if anything, but I'm in. Sign me up for the McCook Bears.
Yeah, it's the proposal is for a quarry over in McCook, the site of a former quarry land. The Bears or the village would buy the land. The Bears would be on the hook for building the stadium. and then give it to the village. Just here's our lovely stadium that we spent billions of dollars on, and then the town McCook would charge them $1 a year for rent. So they would not. It would be publicly owned, and they would be exempt from property taxes. Obviously, if you're not aware of the area of McCook between like First Avenue and LaGrange, up there by 55th, I think it's probably easier getting into on Lakeshore Drive now than it is would be a stadium to get over in McCook over by Harlem, First Avenue, and LaGrange. 55 would just be a complete fucking nightmare. Peter, you might murder people with more 55 traffic.
This is true. I didn't really think about the traffic, but I'm close enough to where I know all the side streets, right? I can get in and out, and I'm not gonna tell you guys how I get to JC's Pub without taking the highways and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, First Avenue has been under construction for years. It would be a disaster, but I'm still in. Sign me up.
I don't care about this. This news does nothing to me. I'm so sick of this fucking going back and forth. And I just heard I think there's 2 other locations that they're putting out. I think ABC.
Yeah, Fort City.
I don't give a fuck. Just get something done. All this back and like when I saw that. By the way, is that an actual sign?
Oh yeah, they have like the Las Vegas sign at McCook.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought for a second it was a fake thing, but I'm so tired of this. I mean, you're gonna either go to Indiana, you're gonna stay in Illinois. When you have shovels in the ground, then come and talk to me. At this point, this absolutely means nothing to me. Because they have no idea what's going on. I mean, Schefter was reporting his shit. Hey, we're in Indiana, everything was all good, and all of a sudden they said it's a toxic waste dump. Secret of the ooze type of bullshit going on.
Three-eyed fish blinking.
I don't know. Please just let it be done and just get something going. So
we'll move on. Move
on. Yes.
I ain't even going to share my thoughts. Go.
All right, next headline.
Because I'm tired of it.
All right, I'll start with you, Joey P. You're a country music guy. Morgan Wallen sold out the Soldier Field the last 2 nights. He's been selling out everywhere he goes. He's a huge country music star. He's very famous for coming out with celebrities. I know he did like Peyton Manning at Tennessee Stadium. He's been doing all these things. People were going crazy on the internet saying, like, is it going to be Caleb Williams? Is it going to be PCA? Is it going to be CM Punk? Even though there's 0 chance CM Punk would give a fuck about anything country music ever. But it ended up being, no surprise, Brian Urlacher. And then second night, it was nobody, because maybe nobody in Chicago. King Von said no. Joey P., do you care about Morgan Wallen and or Brian Urlacher coming out?
No, I don't, because I don't even know one Morgan Wallen song, believe it or not. I don't know one song. I'm an old 80s, 90s country guy, so I don't know none of these new kids on the block. So sorry. So I don't care.
That's surprising. I thought you did because you're very Tennessee.
Yeah, I thought for sure you knew Morgan Wallen songs. Yeah. You're lying. No. He's got some whiskey songs.
Chris Stapleton is the only newest guy out, and he's been around the block for a while, so he's the only new guy. He's got that one
song with Post Malone. I know that one.
Who's Post Malone?
Oh, come on.
All right, we got to interrupt the headlines for a second here, because Sir Anthony is back on the mound for the 9th inning in a 1-run game. So, Will Venable,
not listening to the podcast whatsoever.
Not listening at all.
We said no more closing, and he's closing.
There's a tweet here from Ken W.O. Stone Pony says Dominguez warming up for the 2nd straight game. Our boy John Schifrin just said my heart rate monitor just went up.
You're going to say Stone Cold for a second.
That's good. That's good talk.
And then
talk, Triff.
And then Shams, Minnesota is sending Julius Randle and the number 28 pick in the NBA draft to the Brooklyn Nets in a 3-team trade that sends Nick Claxton to the Chicago Bulls. Sources tell ESPN Timberwolves will acquire Brooklyn's number 33 pick and for Randle and number 28. So Bulls are getting Nick Claxton. I don't know who the fuck that is, but good or bad. And Dominguez just walked the first.
He's decent power forward center. He's decent.
We don't need decent players, and we need superstars.
Yeah.
It's too hard. Too hard
Tony
to get them.
Tony walked. He's already on his way to blowing the save, and they just did a wild pitch.
Oh my God.
So now we have a runner on third with nobody out.
That's great.
Will
Right.
Venable.
No more up there.
Will
I
Venable
almost
has
no
don't
more
not
up,
fucking
yeah,
learned.
yeah.
I'm about to
I don't
rage
wanna hear
tweet.
it.
I want to finish this
All
whole bottle of Tajitas tequila now.
I had the Tajitas tequila at the tailgate. Our Japanese whiskey at Comiskey tailgate. Very good. All right, this is our guy. Shout out our guy Dante to the Don. I actually, friend of the program, soon to be friend of the program, Dante the Don. This is his bar. Good night, John Boy. It's right next to friend of the program, JP Graziano's and TasteRealChicago.com. They are implementing a 23 and over policy, and they're not letting people in that are 21. They said that they've talked about it. They kind of formulated a game plan, and they think for the patrons that go there, they'd rather have an older crowd. So they're starting a 23 and over club. And we've talked about this on the BumCast before. It's a great idea on paper. I need the next step up. I need like 30 and over club.
Well, I guess so. This is what I was reading is they're going to see how this age works. I think they're going to try it for like 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, see how it works out. And they're going to see how the revenues fluctuate because they feel like older people will spend more money at the bars and everything. So, yeah, I mean, look, your bar might be empty at 12 o'clock at this point.
Yeah,
but you might have a good night of money of money. So I'm for it because obviously I loved going out at 21, 22. I went to a lot of clubs and bars and everything. But yeah, I think there's definitely something to it with the older demographics and not having sloppy drunks and potential fights and stuff.
Johnny?
I'm a fan. I mean, just the entire club aspect of nightclubs in Chicago, it's really not been so much of a thing the last decade or so, right? Compared to our heyday 20 plus years ago. Yeah, it's just pop-up bars and let's go have a drink at a bar nowadays, or speakeasy. So I think that this could, histories, stuff that used to be in style come back eventually. And, I think they're onto something here. So I think I would check it out.
I would say that this generation of young people don't go out like how we used to go out. And I don't know how, I hope there's success. I mean, it's a very unique idea, but I think this generation does not go out. They're either they're either staying in or whatever. They don't go out to bars. So I'm not saying it's the whole generation, but it's not like how when we were going out, everybody used to go out. We used to, it just used to be a thing. Nowadays, just people, even 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds, they're not going out. They're not staying out. They might go out for a drink, but then after that, they're going home and then either drinking or whatever. So, it's a different, twist. And again, I hope it does well. But I mean, it's just a different generation, and I don't know how how it's going to adapt to it. But like I said, all the best.
There's also an argument to be made that our money went way farther when we were 21 than 21-year-olds nowadays. And that's something to be said, not about the nightlife industry, but just the economy as a whole. That the fact that you just flat out can't afford bottle service.
Yeah,
I'm about to lose my shit. Tony just blew the game. Blew the save.
No, Will just blew the game, not Tony. Will Venable blew the game, putting him in.
Runners on second and third, no outs. Tie game. He's being pulled right now, I think. I can't with this anymore, man. Will Venable is he's a fucking idiot. All right, Ford City, RIP.
don't watch the game right now because
I know.
you're just gonna be frustrated.
Yeah, turn the fucking game off.
Yes, just turn it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey
Sorry,
P.
Peter. Go ahead.
Nah, it's basically it's one more. I mean, we're basically letting Joey P eulogize everything he loves. Jonathan Toews, Ford City, whatever's left of Joey P.
Hermanos, you guys are really testing my heartstrings today with all this great news. Yeah, right. So Ford City Mall today was closed officially by the city of Chicago, based on some safety standards that were not met by the property owners. So they shut down Ford City Mall for good today. The last anchor store that was there was JCPenney. I was about to go and grab some breakfast in my jogging pants on Saturday morning. I texted boys about it, and I was like, "Nah." She stopped me before I can do that, so I had to put on some pants, real pants. And I happened to drive through Ford City, and there were quite a few CPD squads just posted up by all the doors. And you saw people like were just driving through the lot, park, and like would try to run up and snag photos of like the main entrance doors of the JCPenney and stuff. So folks here in the neighborhood knew that this day was going to come, and a lot of nostalgia is going to go with it. It's quite unfortunate that I wish I could have picked up one last leather jacket for Mailman Jack. Sorry, buddy, but and meet our guy, Mr. Hand, Aloha, Mr. Hand at John's Garage for one more burger. But
John's Garage, yeah.
My parents always took me to John's Garage. Spent a lot of time at Ford City as a kid too, like just shop it. And even like in my teens, in summer break, I would take the bus before I had a license. I'd walk over to like the train station, the Orange Line, grab a bus, go to Ford City, and just walk around the mall, go to all the Game Stops, the music stores, Walden Books, just do everything that people that in your 13, 14 like to do. Try to get someone to buy me a Playboy.
You guys didn't ever go to the Tilt arcade?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Johnny,
where
we used to go to movie theater over there. That's where we saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, and No Holds Barred. Remember that?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I
I remember going to Ford City for No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
Well, rest assured, AMC movie theater is not going anywhere. And also on the news is stated that the North Side stores alongside where the Sears used to be at the other end of the connection where we used to spend a lot of time underground, right?
Yeah, the underground stores.
Yep. The North Side stores are going to stay there. And the AMC movie theater on the south side of the mall parking lot is going to stay. But everything in between, come.
Either way, I'm just excited for the Joker to blow it up in the next Batman movie.
RIP Ford City. I wish I could, like I said, Joe, I wish I could have one last meal at John's Garage.
It would have been nice.
Yep. All right, that's all headlines we got.
That's all we got.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a World Cup minute because we're running long today, boys.
We are running long.
We talked a lot of White Sox.
Yeah, I don't know how we got to stop doing that.
Is it good for our health? I don't know these days.
Nothing's good for our health of what we do. Let's just put it.
You know what's good for my health? The United States men's national team and Mauricio Pochettino and the way these boys are playing and winning the general public over. First time they've won 2 World Cup games back-to-back since 1930. They're playing really good. They already won their group. They could rest their players if they so choose. I would suggest that the United States men's national team maybe do not play anybody that has a yellow card, as if you guys know, yellow cards accumulate over time in the World Cup. So if you get one game and then you get another the next game, you have to sit out a game. That all gets cleared away during the knockout rounds. So I would suggest you rest your hurt players, maybe Christian Pulisic and a couple of people on the yellow cards, and don't really worry about what Turkey is going to do because they're eliminated already. And then you worry about the knockout stages. But yeah, this World Cup has been fun so far. There's been some surprises, some like the Cabo Verdes of the world or the Cape Verdes and Curaçaos of the world. And then the stars are doing what the stars do. Lionel Messi at 39 years or close, he's going to be 39 in like 36 hours, is doing what Messi does. Kylian Mbappe is right on his heels. And the stars are doing, I believe Erling Haaland scored a goal today too. So Johnny cashed that parlay. It's been fun. I'm excited. I feel like, the general public, like the Dave Portnoys of the world and Big Cat and even like some of the dumbass like Stephen A. Smith. When they start talking soccer, I'm like, oh, geez, now it's really, catching some steam. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what it brings. If you told me before the World Cup started, I really didn't have. I lowered my expectation. Very much like the White Sox, lowered my expectations, and now I'm pleasantly surprised. But honestly, I was talking to my dad earlier. Like the United States, 2 games in, have played about as good as anybody. Like right now, if you're just ranking the 2 games that everyone's played, I would say the United States is a top 5 team right now, just on what they've put out on the pitch, and that's impressive because I didn't expect that to happen. But yeah, Mexico won, clinched their group. United States clinched their group. Canada had a really good showing their second game. CONCACAF is doing good, and yeah, I'm excited for what's ahead. We have to maybe watch party or like live stream. I'm gonna do something for one of these games, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I agree. I'll admit, I'll be the first one to admit, I would not have thought that Messi would be scoring at the way that he's doing right now. Again, it's older age. He is just dominating this World Cup right now. He could have had a third goal if he didn't miss that penalty kick. So he could have actually had 6 goals here. But yeah, the U.S. man, I was watching that game with my daughter, and I'm trying to get her to watch soccer and get into it and all that. And we were on the car ride back to my place, and I had the game on. I put it on the stereo and all that as I'm driving, and just hearing that crowd, everybody singing the national anthem. That's one of my favorite things. I don't know, like any like world big stage on soccer is the national anthems. But the fact that Seattle is such a great soccer town, and it was in Los Angeles. It wasn't like this was a totally different like atmosphere, and the crowd was into it, and I loved everything about it. And Australia had a lot of good players. I'm sorry, a lot of fans as well too. Um, the way that everything's set up right now for the United States, the round of 32, the round of 16, they have a very good shot to go pretty far if they keep this up. Hopefully there's no injuries. Hopefully everybody's like, playing just the way that they've been playing. But Mauricio got this team believing. A lot of the other, even Zlatan was saying, they asked him, hey, do you think that the United States can win the World Cup? And he just said yes. It wasn't no hesitation. He just said yes. Um, I know we're still far off from it because, like I said, there is still a lot of good teams out there. France is so good. Argentina is playing really good. Spain's playing really good as well too. Me and Peter were talking about Belgium. They're done. I don't
Stinks.
know.
Bum
They
of the
just
week, Romelu Lukaku's old ass.
they had a golden generation 10 years ago. It's not. I mean that stuff has sailed. Portugal is another one as well too. I got to see more out of them. I would have thought that they would have been a little bit more dominant. But I need to see more from them. England, showed up. They played real great as well too. But all these games have been entertaining. Every single one of them have been. I try to watch as much as I could possibly can, and they've just been nothing but great. And again, as I mentioned, is that I hope out of this tournament, especially if the United States goes further into the tournament, is that this is going to help the United States national soccer team even more, giving more. Um, yes, I know England are chokers. I get that. But hopefully getting more talent, more kids getting involved into soccer, because I know that we have what it takes to be a World Cup country, like a team, like a championship caliber team. And back from like 94 to where we're at right now, we're seeing the progress. I know it's going to take time, but I hope like they do end up going far, and it would be great to win it. I mean, I'm not confident that they can win it. Just because I got to see more out of them. Yes, Peter, they had impressive wins against Australia and Paraguay, but I need to see like how they go up against another great team um, in the next couple rounds. So hopefully they continue doing what they're doing. They're playing at a very good Excel level, and I'm just enjoying the ride right now. That's all. I'm just enjoying the ride. I'm happy where we're at. And whoever's not watching soccer, please turn it on because I think you'll be. If you're not a fan, please watch World Cup because that's how I got started watching soccer. World Cup is a whole different environment. It's not just MLS. If you watch it, you see the amount of talent that's out there that makes it very enjoyable for the fan. I'm excited. Did we go a little bit further than that?
Yeah, we got. Let's about the La Pantera.
No, you're not. Just fucking just go.
No. USA Thursday.
ShySportsBums.BigCartel.com is the home for all Chicago Sports Bums merch. We have Bears, Hawks, Sox, and Bums merch available. Anything you need to get ready for a big game or a Chicago Sports Bums event. Remember, all profits go directly back into our Whiskey at Comiskey tailgates to keep the beer and food free for everyone. So head over to ShySportsBums.BigCartel.com and pick up a couple Toot Tree shirts today.
It's time for King of the Hill. Everyone's favorite segment. Besides maybe Rate My Cock. But Father's Day was yesterday. So, Peter, you have 12 sitcom dads that you're going to give us, and we're going to figure out who the best dad is.
That is true. Sitcom dad. I want to preface this. There's no old ass sitcoms. There's no like Leave It to Beaver and Happy Days. It's from our growing up childhood. It's from when we grow up. If you guys say, and I know there's people in the comments saying like, oh, we're missing this dad, or well, then you make your segment, and then I'll rate that one. So these are the 12 best sitcom dads in my eyes. And then you guys, between Jason, Joey P, and Johnny, you guys will vote to see who is the top sitcom dad. Now, for some reason, it's not on my screen. Hold, please. Can you guys see that?
Hold on. We are having
do it again.
Let's try that.
Here we go. We got it.
All right.
I'm going to start with you, Jason.
All right, let's do this. All right.
Pick a number.
Let's go number 11.
That's my second number. That's a good choice. How do I delete?
Ooh.
All right, we're starting off with Tim the Tool Man Taylor. And then?
Let's go number 5.
Red Foreman. Now, before we start, we have to kind of gauge what we're doing this. Like, are we doing our favorite? This is not our favorite sitcom dad. This is not like the funniest sitcom dad. We're picking who the best dad is, right? Like, how do we want to go
who took the best care of their family?
Yes, that's how. What are our criterias?
Okay. Yeah, I would say, takes care of the family would be one. Makes me laugh would be up there too. Obviously, yeah, parenting
This is not
style.
the funniest dads. This is not the funniest dad.
I don't know. You could make an argument. Red Foreman's one-liners were pretty funny.
What the hell's going on here?
No, we got to figure out what we're voting on, and I think it should be the best dad.
Okay. All right. Dad-wise, my vote is Tim. I mean, Red Foreman gave two shits about his kids. So
He's a hard ass.
yeah.
Yeah. So see, you guys are voting, but my argument would be that Red Foreman was stricter and more like he wanted better for Eric Foreman. Tim the Toolman Taylor was a wild card. I mean, he blew up his kitchen multiple times. Like, he's putting his kids in danger. But nevertheless, Joey P, you go.
No, I'm going with Red. I'm going with Red myself because, tough love. Tough love is how I grew up with my daddy. So I go with Red on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Red too. It's a different philosophy of parenting, and yes, he wanted the best for Eric. I know that he had a daughter as well too, but he was more. It seemed like he was more focused on Eric.
Yeah, he was bad with that daughter. If we're being honest, we're ignoring the daughter.
Yeah. So
he's like, I got one shot, and it's on you, Eric.
Right. So I'm gonna go with Red because again, how Joey mentioned, it's just tough love, and I mean, I'm gonna go with that most of the time. I loved Tim the Toolman Taylor. Don't get me wrong, but
he was funnier. He was the funny dad.
He was funnier. Yeah.
I think he's a bad dad.
All right, let me ask you this though. What was Red Foreman's job? Was he just a deadbeat dad, not working, collecting money off the government?
No,
I don't think I've ever seen him work.
Yeah, he worked at the factory and then the Price Mart. He was a manager.
Oh yeah, the manager of the Price Mart. He always carried that thermos, that like lunch pail with a thermos.
All right,
70s.
Because you knew where Tim worked.
Yeah,
you know he was bringing in the money.
Media guy.
Elitist.
Yeah.
All right, so I vote Tim, but it seems like everyone's doing Red here. So,
all right, Joey P, you go.
Give me number 4.
This is Phil Dunphy from Modern Family.
I'm still gonna go Red.
Yeah.
He was just too goofy for me. Like he looks like a ditz dad or something like that. It's just something about him that was just.
He was more worried about getting his TV time than he was about parenting his kids.
Yeah, billboards and all that.
All right, JT's in the comments, and I'm gonna address this now. He says, "Are we factoring Tim Allen's drug charges? No, we are separating the art from the artist because we'll talk about that later."
Wait,
Jason, tell us about the goddamn White Sox.
Forza Antonacci walked it off.
Oh.
Sammy the Ant, 2-run RBI single up the middle. Sox win 6-5. Mercy.
Buy a goddamn shirt. Jason, where's the Antonacci shirt?
It's going up right now. I'm tweeting it out right now.
Sarah says you're all nuts. It should be Phil Dunphy versus Red Foreman. I got no vote in this, but I like Red Foreman still. I think he's stricter. He's more towing of the line. So yeah, Joey P, who are you going for?
I'm going Red because
Jason?
Modern Family, the mom did a better job.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Red.
All right, he's out
on this.
Johnny, you pick.
I'm gonna go 7.
Carl Winslow,
Oh,
Family Matters own, Chicago's own Carl Winslow versus Red Foreman.
Johnny, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Carl, man. I mean, that guy, working man. I mean, the amount of kids he had as well too. Tough job as a cop, especially in those Chicago streets back in the '90s, and then just teaching his kids like life lessons. And I mean, there were so many different like episodes where he just stepped up. He stepped in.
Good dad.
Even here's my big point out of this too. He was a father figure to Urkel. Like every time Urkel, like, where was his parents at? He came up for all the time because he loved being with the Winslow family, and Carl was just such a great dad. He didn't spend time with his other dad. That should be an argument of this is how good of a dad Carl was. So Carl, I'm gonna go with Carl.
That's a good argument, Johnny. Joey?
Yeah, I'm definitely going Carl because Johnny made great points right now about how great of a dad. And not only is he serving protecting the city, he's serving protecting his house too. And he's trying to keep Stefan off of his daughter and all this other stuff. But in any event,
Stefan's a good guy, man.
Don't forget
Cool
about
guy.
Stefan. He was very
Jason?
cool, very handsome.
No, Carl wins though, 100%.
I'm
That's
going to
easy.
give credit to you guys because this could have easily been Bears Packers right here. If anybody voted for Red Foreman when we're doing a Bears Packers segment, no dice. So good job all around, Jason, Johnny, and Joey P.
Yeah. No.
All right, Jason, you're up.
All right, let's go number 2. Ooh.
All right.
Danny
This is Danny Tanner. Full House's Danny Tanner versus Carl Winslow. Jason, you pick the number. You go.
All right. I think dad-wise, I mean, widow brings family in, best friend, but I still gotta stick Carl Winslow, man.
Okay. Joey?
Yeah, I'm gonna as much as Danny Tanner was an awesome dad, I'm gonna stick with Carl. Carl had that more where I come from, that tough love, which I love. More discipline.
Johnny?
Yeah, I love the whole Danny Tanner character on Full House. Like he was that dad, like comforting. Anybody could go and just talk to him, and he's raising 3 kids that without his that's tough too. Like he is raising his daughters without his wife who passed away, and he brought in his best friend and his brother-in-law to come and help with the girls. So I know that wasn't easy for him. But yeah, Carl has a slight edge on this just because, yes, again, it's just the tough love that he has. Like Danny's just kind of like, more of like soft type of dad, not to, like disrespect him on that. But yeah, I'm going to go Carl.
I would argue Danny Tanner, good dad, but like he had to call in the bullpen help. Like Carl Winslow didn't he didn't need help. I mean, obviously he had his wife with him, but he didn't need no help.
Right.
All right, Joey P, you're up.
We're gonna go number 9.
All right. We're going Carl Winslow versus Frank Costanza.
Fuck, man.
Oh my gosh.
Now we're getting to the point where like how do you choose, like depending on how you want your dad to be, because these are 2 very different styles of parenting.
Oh, but I love both of them in both regards, especially as a disciplinarian on both sides, and the invention of Festivus for the rest. Oh man.
Yeah, that's my argument right there, Joe.
Yeah.
Is he created a holiday for the purpose just so George could have a holiday.
To complain about his family is what he created a holiday for.
You want to talk about tough love? Red Foreman get a tough love. That's tough love right there.
He also created one of the more like sociopathic characters of all time. I don't know if George Costanza is a good person.
I love that festival, but I'm going to stick with Carl.
Yeah, Frank Costanza, another hard ass on George. I don't think he even liked George, to be honest.
He didn't like his son.
I don't think I ever seen him hug him or there was nothing on that whatsoever. Like it's just he was just a hard ass. He was more of a hard ass than Red. And that's speaking a lot right there. Like I never once heard Frank Costanza say anything nice to George at all. Del Boca Vista. I'm gonna go with Carl.
Jason, you and Frank?
Yeah, I gotta go Frank. But let me understand this right. So you got the hen, the chicken, and the rooster. The rooster goes with the chicken. So who's having sex with the hen?
That's good. All right, Joey, who did you vote for? Who won this?
I said Carl.
All right, so Carl wins.
Ah,
Although I gotta mention this now because I thought about this while making this, and I'm glad JT brought it up because you guys didn't. Has nobody thought of the fact that Carl lost a daughter a couple seasons in? They just wrote her off the show. She could have gone missing. We don't know this.
they milk boxed her.
Hey,
Where's
hold on.
Judy?
Hold on. There was no talk of what happened to her, so you can't
don't know.
blame it on Carl.
We don't know.
Can't blame that on Carl.
All right, who's up?
Johnny's up.
That actually happened also to Lori from that '70s show too. I'm gonna go number one.
Ah,
Al Bundy.
yes. I'll keep the one right there. Looks funny.
Ow! Undo. How do I undo?
Control Z. Control Z.
Thank you. All right, Al Bundy, Carl Winslow, go.
I mean, oh, Johnny, yours.
I love Al Bundy, the character, just because he is reminiscing through his whole high school years and scoring 4 touchdowns in one game. He's another one that I think he cared more about. No, I should say I'm going to say he looked like he cared more about Kelly than he did Bud.
Again, he hates his son. There's a theme to this.
No, but there was times that he took his son on his 16th birthday to the
Oh
new
yeah,
bar.
that's
So,
a good
I mean,
dad. That's a good dad.
Yes, I'm not saying that he hated him. I think he just had a favorite, and that was definitely Kelly. Again, he didn't want to be around his family, so I can't. I love the character Al Bundy, but as a dad, no, he just did not want to be. He didn't want to be around his wife. He just wanted to hang out with his buddies, go to the bowling alley, or go to the nudie bar, or watch Psycho Dad. So I'm still gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Carl.
Hey, Carl's on a Ric Flair-esque.
He's on a heater right now. I did not expect this from Carl Winslow, but he's showing up.
And this is another Chicago dad as well too, Al Bundy, another Chicago dad.
Yeah, this is double. Yeah, this is a Chicago dad.
All right, yep, got Carl for me.
All right,
Carl,
so
it is.
Carl wins.
As much as I love Al Bundy.
If we're talking characters, Al Bundy for sure. But yeah, he
Hands
was
down.
not the greatest dad. All right, Jason, back up.
All right, let's go number 12.
All right, this is what I'm talking about when we separate the art from the artist, because I'm going to get this out of the way. I didn't talk to all of you guys about how we were going to do this, but I did talk to Jason and say, hey, Heathcliff Huxtable was a good dad, and that sitcom was good, record-breaking good. Bill Cosby, bad person. I want it on record. The bums disavow Bill Cosby, but Heathcliff Huxtable was a good dad. So discuss amongst yourself.
You know what? I would be remiss if after the conversation we had, Peter, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least go through one round and have a new contender. And Huxtable was a good dad. He's a doctor, pediatrician, right?
Yeah,
doctor. Yeah, I mean, nice house, lots of kids, well living. They got in some trouble. Eddie got in some trouble every now and then, but got him through it. I gotta go Cliff. Theo, sorry.
Eddie was Carl Winslow's dad.
That's right. I got my shows confused.
All right, Joey.
I gotta go Cliff on this one. I think this is Ric Flair's.
This is how we get canceled, folks.
Yeah, but
this is how we get canceled.
We're doing strictly on sitcom dad and taking care of his family. The man did. He was even taking care of everybody that was coming in through his doors. He took care of all his kids, friends, everybody.
Cockroach. Johnny?
I'm still going to go Carl.
All right, either way, Heathcliff Huxtable wins. Joey.
You bastards.
I'm going to go with number 8.
Number 8. He's won a King of the Hill before. I had to bring him back because if he is like the reigning champion of King of the Hill, Frank Reynolds is back as a sitcom dad, not a fictional wrestler, the championship he won before, but he is the dad to Dee and Glenn. What's Glenn Howerton's name?
Dennis.
Dennis. Yeah, Dennis and Dee. So, thoughts?
I still gotta. I'm gonna stick with Dr. Huxtable on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cliff on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, you had one dad who's very into the whores,
The whores.
and you got a doctor. So yes, Cliff wins again.
All right. Can I interest you in an egg in these trying times? Who's next?
Johnny.
Yeah, I'm going to go with number 3.
What in the hell? Uncle Phil. Uncle to Will, but dad to Carlton and the other two.
What were their names? Trivia question.
Was there a Whitney? No.
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 I'm bad.
Will?
At Ashley. Ashley was one.
Ashley.
And the prissy one. The Richie prissy one.
Carlton.
No. There's a
Carlton.
older. Ashley
Yeah,
was a younger girl. Obviously Will and Carlton, but there was an older girl.
Hillary?
Hillary.
Oh, Hillary,
It was
yes.
Hillary. Yeah. All right. I'm going to start, and let me just sway you guys. And this is not for the fact that I don't want Bill Cosby to win and us get canceled, because this would be bad all time. But Uncle Phil, just as successful, a judge, lived in Beverly Hills, took in an adoptive, son in Will. And I think just as powerful is Cliff Huxtable.
You're exactly right. He's an uncle and a dad. He's a judge against a doctor. He's also got the little red foreman in him, but he's also got the good dad in him.
Yep.
So he's well rounded. He's a 90 grade, right? Or 95. Like are they doing the Madden? So yeah, Uncle Phil.
I think what you have to take into consideration of Uncle Phil was that he didn't grow up to be like, he wasn't like silver spoon. Like, he worked his ass off. He was like, I think he also had kind of like the same upbringing as, in a sense, as Will. So again, he knows all the streets. He worked hard, went to college, got his degree, became a judge. He has the best of both worlds. He's got that street smarts and he's got the book smarts. And when you have those two, it's just a dynamite like combination to have. And the fact that Will came from a tough neighborhood, and he understood him, and he always did everything he could. I remember the time when the cops stopped them because he was they were using like his partner's car and stuff like that. And I mean,
that was a good one.
He just was always there for them, regardless of how they messed up. He still, at the end of the day, was just like, I'm always going to be there for you. And then that scene when Will's father came back into his life.
How come he don't love me? That's the best scene in like sitcom history, I think.
The fact that he knew from the get-go that this wasn't right, because his street instincts was just like, he's just the same guy as he was when he left Will. So I think Phil, when I was waiting for this, I was going to pick him over almost anybody, because I just love the way that he was a father to all his kids, not just, Carlton and, help raising Will, but all his kids. He was just very protective, but he knew not to like hold them, like, hold them back. He let them like, go into the mistakes and all that. So I'm going to go with Uncle Phil. Obviously, I think we're all in agreement here.
Oh, we are.
6.
Oh,
man.
Speaking of Bears fans, we got Dan Connor, another one. The sitcom dads that had a little bit of tough love, blue collar. Not a silver spoon by any accounts. Not like well-to-do. He struggled. The family struggled, but he was always there for Roseanne and the kids. Any thoughts? Maybe we talked really good about Uncle Phil, but now Dan Connor, I feel like is a worthy adversary.
I mean, I feel like Dan would rather be at the bar with his buddies than raising his kids. So, Uncle Phil, all day, day.
Yeah, I think
Jerry
it's definitely.
O'Sullivan. Jerry O'Sullivan says he had to live with Roseanne, so he should win for that alone.
I'm going Uncle Phil here too, Jay. Yeah, Dan was just he did the best he could, but yeah, his kids, they were out of this world, so to speak. So yeah, Uncle Phil.
Again, I said it before. I love the whole Dan Connor, again, just that blue collar guy, and he helped his family like anybody, like even
Right.
his sister-in-law as well too. He beat up that guy when he yeah. So I mean, he was that tough guy, like nobody was gonna fuck with him. But again, I'm just gonna go with Uncle Phil here.
All right, so this is gonna be a wash because number 10 is not anyone. He's one of my favorite sitcoms, Dad. He was a funny dad, but I don't think he holds a candle to Uncle Phil, and that's Frank Barone. That's everybody loved Raymond's dad, dude. One of the funnier dads on sitcom television. He reminds me of like an old school like Archie Bunker type, like hard ass, make fun of his son all the time. But obviously, I'm gonna go ahead and vote for everybody when we talk about like it's Uncle Phil, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Phil, winner
Uncle
of
Phil,
King of the Hill, winner
best-
King of the Hill sitcom dads.
Best sitcom dad, Uncle Phil.
I can't.
I'm not
I
even
have a
gonna
hard
get
time
there.
making it big too.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
Hey, Blue Chew.
Hey-o.
Sponsorship. All right.
Congrats, to Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
All right, let's bump some people, guys.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
You call me a bum? My man, I take that with pride, with honor, that I'm a bum. I'm the king of the bums, baby.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum. A bum.
All right, time for our listener bums and MVBs. First up is Jeff, JT, MVB, us, the dads. Well, not me and Joey, but Peter and Johnny. These guys.
And Dougie.
And Dougie. Yes, Dougie too.
Yes, happy
Bum of the
Father's
week.
Day.
Dads that are bums. Yeah, Dougie had the deadbeat dads in the 108 tourney in the bum tournament.
Yeah, he had
A couple of years
dads. We
made a
changed the
run.
rules after that.
Yeah. Colonel Bourbon, bum of the week, is whatever's happening there.
I'm gonna tell you right
Six
now,
and-
this is gonna be my bum of the week too because the good Bourbon and his lovely wife, the good Colonel, just got his front lawn resodded by yours truly. That is fresh grass. I just cut it for the first time on Saturday. Really good, really like healthy grass. And then not Monday. That grass didn't last 2 days, and now the city is driving their heavy equipment on it. That's tough. That's tough cooking right there.
Damn. As a true bum.
Next up, I did say we're gonna offer to replace it if they fuck it up.
The city should pay it.
Yeah, well, that shitty. So I told them I was like the city will replace it, but they do a shitty job whenever they do it. So forget about it.
City Brown MVBs, Mike Vassell for clapping back at School Bowl during last Friday's game at Detroit, and all the dads won and all on their special day yesterday. One and all. Sorry, I can't read sometimes. Bum of the week, the Sox 1-5 road trip record and Tariq Skubal. Enough said.
Agreed.
Jerry O'Sullivan MVB, Scotland for drinking Boston Dry. That's also bum of the week, Boston for embarrassing yourselves, calling yourselves a drinking town and letting the Scots come in and drink you dry. Like,
the Sam Adams Brewery ran out of Sam Adams.
Take away your fucking like beer capital fucking title, whatever you want to say yourself. You're not a beer city anymore. You let Scotland drink you dry.
It's a bad look.
This is bad look. Bum of the week, the White Sox road woes. Yep. Drew Durham, MVP, the U.S. men's national soccer team. Every 4 years, some of us pretend to give a shit. They finally give us a reason to actually care. Peter's happy about that.
Agreed.
And Johnny. And Joey.
Agreed.
And me.
Yes.
Agreed.
And Mailman Jack, MVP, Nicolas Cage for Spider Noir. This was so fantastically weird and well-made. Classic Nick. I watched one episode. I have to watch the rest of them. I
haven't even started. I want to talk about it on the Baloney Show. I haven't even started, so I'm behind. But I heard good things.
Bum of the week, Yankee Stadium, freaking bandbox piece of crap. Yeah, I thought the Sox would have going to mash more a little bit there, but they did not. All right, Johnny, just kick us off.
Just my MVP is just my daughter for again, we talked about it earlier, just thank you for all the happy Father's Day stuff that she did for me, and then everybody else who wished me a happy Father's Day as well too. So, and all the happy Father's Day to everybody out there. So my bum of the week is actually something that when I had to take my daughter back to her mom's, it was raining. It was bad weather pretty much the whole day, and I left around, I would say about 12:10 around my mom's house because I stopped by over there to see my dad, and traffic was horrendous on the Kennedy. Yes, I understand the Kennedy is always bad. I did not move over 20 miles per hour until 1:30. Traffic was just at a standstill. I didn't get to her mom's, and granted she lives far, but I didn't get there till to 2:30. So it took me 2 hours to get over there. And I put a tweet out there. I thought they were having Happy Father's Day on the Kennedy because I could not believe the traffic that was there. And I don't know if it was people that were heading to their Father's Day houses or whatever, because it could have been. I know they canceled the Cubs game, so I know it wasn't the Cubs traffic. But the Kennedy's always terrible, and I know that as well too. And maybe I should pump myself for taking the Kennedy. I should have took 290 or 55 to 294. Maybe that probably would have been a better solution, or 290. But the Kennedy. Again, always bad, and always will be. Long live that crappy expressway.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna go next. My bum of the week. I don't have MVP. But my bum of the week is me. I did something bad over the weekend. I screwed myself. I had a way to watch Sox Hawks Bulls games without having to give Uncle Jerry his money, and the equipment it was acting up, and I had to do a rule 1 of IT, a reboot, and in rebooting I booted myself out, and I can't log back in. So I have no way to watch my beloved teams without giving Jerry his fucking $20. I had to cave. I had to buy it. And the rumors are true. The app is fucking god awful. It's a fucking piece of shit. Justin Ishby, if you're ever listening to this, please get some good IT people when you take over, because it's absolute dog shit. I had to watch the game on mute because the audio was so bad. It was crackling and cutting in and out.
Damn, that bad, huh?
It doesn't even work on the Samsung TV, by the way. You might as well just download it to a Fire Stick, or when I first downloaded onto my Samsung TV, the TV app, you open it and none of the arrow bar, like you can't move anything. That's true. He only listens to Sox podcasts. But yeah, you couldn't do anything, navigate anywhere. So I put it back. I put it on the Fire Stick. It was working. It on the phone. It didn't want to load the game for about a good 5 minutes. It's a god awful app, and I'm kicking myself in the ass for the past 3 days that I I should have listened to my wife when she said, don't fuck with it. And I fucked with it. And I screwed myself in the process. So bum of the week, me.
You're taking accountability.
I feel dirty that I gave Jerry more of my money.
This is a late submission from Sarah James, 22. Bum of the week, HBIC, for me and Maxie having to deal with him yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
It's a tough scene when you told me, and I'm like, and don't get me wrong, there's a day, and it's coming sooner rather than later. I already know it. It's gonna happen to me too. I'm on my last legs of, may or may not illegally be able to watch games before. Allegedly, I don't want to incriminate myself. There's ways where we've been watching the games where it might not work anymore, and I'm dreading that day because, I'm going to be right there with you, Jay. I'm going to have to give my hard-earned money, and especially when my daughter says I have none and my pockets are empty.
You're going to have negative air.
to Jerry Reinsdorf and the Wirtz family.
Oh, yes. All right, Joe, what do you got?
I got a laundry list of MVBs. Obviously, all the dads out there, happy Father's Day. One of my favorite dads out there, Dougie. I'm wearing the Chicago Wolves for you, brother. I'm the men. We love you.
Yes, nice.
Thank you. You didn't wear a shirt for Peter or Johnny?
Yeah, what the hell? Dougie's not even a Wolves fan. He roots for the Carolina Hurricanes or whatever.
Well, no, Carolina Hurricanes are the Wolves affiliate. That's why he cheers for them.
Oh, yeah, no, Rockford Ice Hogs. Yeah, whatever.
You see?
Well, hockey talk, whatever.
Hockey stuff. Yeah, again, MVP, my cousin, and his new wife, they got married on Saturday. Got to see all my tios and tias and cousins that I haven't seen in some years. It's awesome. Getting the P crew back together. And there's a special duck in my heart. There is a duck walking the streets and has captured the heart of the world. This is Merlin. And Merlin is Team Mexico's official mascot. You see, officially, Team Mexico for the World Cup had their own mascot, like a furry guy, whatever. They already gave the Jaguar the boot. This is our mascot. This is what we want. So this guy right here is beloved. He is becoming meme central, and he's great.
Undefeated.
He's undefeated too. So we'll see how Memo Ochoa in the net goes for this last game that they're probably going to throw away. That's why Memo's going to start at goaltender. But who cares? We have Merlin, and Merlin is beloved around the world. He's making worldwide headlines and is now internationally known. You, my friend, are a true hero, Merlin. Keep being great.
Mr. Worldwide, Merlin.
Yes.
Are there rumors that the duck is going to replace the eagle as a logo?
Oh, that'd be messed up.
It would be. There are T-shirts being sold like that already.
I know.
The duck being... All right, let's get to your bum because I've been waiting to hear the story behind this.
All right. My bum of the week is this goofy named Elmo. So I'm not bumming Elmo because he came out with this public service announcement in support of Team USA and telling everybody that he still loves everybody. Those are my lines. Like Ric Flair told Jay Lethal. That's my line. I love everybody. But in any event, okay, Elmo, you're supposed to support Team USA, right? Because we're Sesame Street. It's supposed to be like in NYC, right? New York, Sesame Street, right?
Any town USA.
Right. So why is it that this goofy Elmo during the NBA Finals a couple weeks back said he couldn't pick a winner between the Knicks and the Spurs, and he just hopes that both teams have a lot of fun?
Oh, he's waffling.
Can you believe this? Elmo, I'm glad that you picked a team in the World Cup, and you picked wisely, okay, in Team USA. But this is only after the fact that you got exposed, okay? So you're from New York. You're supposed to support the New York Knicks, hands down, in the NBA Finals. And instead, you want to, play peacekeeper. You're bum of the week.
Damn, Elmo.
Hold on. I have we should backtrack here. Is Sesame Street from New York. Is that true?
Yeah, where's Jim Henson from?
This is
This is
also
how
You
we
have to look it up.
This is
how
also
we,
going
this is
haywire as
how we
well,
get
too,
canceled.
yeah.
This is how we get
Yeah.
canceled.
You're gonna
Yeah.
look it up.
I'm looking
You're
it
gonna
up.
look
I'm
it
looking it up right now. Mississippi.
That's Jim Henson, but where's Sesame Street?
Well, he grew up in Maryland, so maybe it's in Maryland.
No, I'm
Where-
talking
no,
about
isn't
that-
PBS from,
Sesame
like-
Street?
Where's isn't PBS like Pittsburgh?
Uh,
No, but
That was
where
Mr. Rogers in Pittsburgh.
Joey
no,
P's
that's
making
Pittsburgh,
all
yes.
this up.
Maybe-
Arlington, Virginia.
Joey
Maybe
P.
he just
The P
doesn't like
stands for
the album.
perjury, or
I will bring my sources after the show.
all right. Yeah, we got to figure
You
this
have to
out.
take a look at this here.
I don't believe.
All right,
you
Peter.
right now.
Peter, take us home.
All right, yeah, I'm piggybacking off of everybody. Obviously, Julie, Landon, Scarlett. I had a really nice Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Everybody in the comments, Jerry O'Sullivan, JT, everybody. That was I had a good time. When you're a girl dad, #girl dad, it can get tough navigating going out in public with your daughter. I don't have the video, but it was something that went super viral the last couple of weeks. A dad was with his 2 daughters and took them to the women's bathroom, and some other narc-ass, bitch-ass man called the cops on him. There's no easy way to navigate this. I've talked about this. I thank God that the Sox Park has family bathrooms, because I've taken my daughter to Sox games on our own. Like, I would have never taken her to a men's bathroom. If by hook or by crook, I'm going to the women's bathroom. Like, she was at that time too young to go to the bathroom on her own. If it wasn't for that family bathroom, like, I would have gone to the women's. Catch charges all you want. I'm never taking my daughter to a women's bathroom. So I got this
Men's bathroom.
men's bathroom. I got this. Somebody on TikTok made this, and this is how you should parent if you have kids, and if it's a mom and the daughter, you go to the women's bathroom. If it's a man and a daughter, you go to the women's bathroom. If it's a mom and the boy, like if Julie and Landon are out at the mall, they'll go to the women's bathroom. And then if it's a boy, me and Landon, we're going to the guy's bathroom. This makes sense. The fact that guy got the cops called on him, and he was really patient and kudos to him. That was crazy. It was Father's Day weekend. I had to talk about it because it's been going crazy viral. Makes no sense. Use your brain, people. The kids' safety should be paramount to anything. So that's my first bum of the week. My second MVB is shout out to everyone commenting, tweeting, and this has happened a couple of times, but I know that JT, I think Jer, Taco Gladiator, a bunch of people have commented on Sean W. Anderson's very good list of White Sox podcasts, and they say, "Where's the bums?" So I want to thank everyone that commented and quote tweeted, asked, "Where's the bums?" And they have a very set criteria between Sean W. Anderson and Beefloaf, who talked about that on this week's 108 podcast. They said, we talk more than White Sox. We are, a Bears podcast. We are a nonsense podcast, a pop culture, headlines, all kinds of things. I understand all of that. So we are not part of the, sickos, the White Sox sickos. But I want to make sure, I'm not mad right now that we're not part of the White Sox Twitter White Sox podcast, even though we have all of our White Sox content for the 2026 season sponsored by TasteRealChicago.com. And you can go to TasteRealChicago.com and get all your Giardinera, Muffaletta, and all those goods. Ignore all the fact. Ignore the fact that we talk an hour of White Sox podcast for the better part of 6 months, right? Like more than a lot of these other podcasts. Ignore all of that. I don't care about the sickos thing, or at least the podcast thing. We are White Sox sickos. By hook or by crook. You could talk about me not going to the White Sox games after tailgates because we either have sitters and I don't want to give Jerry money, or the Dodgers and Cubs are games I don't want to be at. But the fact that we are allegedly illegally streaming games to be able to watch everyone, the fact that Johnny lives 2 blocks from the stadium, the fact that Joey P gives Jerry Reinsdorf money a bunch of different ways between the Bulls, the Blackhawks, the White Sox, and everything else. Jason, me and you, like, if we're not watching the game, we're listening to it on the radio. We're texting back and forth. I don't care about the White Sox Twitter podcast version of that. I just want it to be known that we are White Sox sickos. The fact that we are feeding hundreds of you drink, food, once a month in the tailgates, off our dime, and, you know, obviously credit to Circa Sports Illinois and TasteRealChicago.com and Off Hours, Manuscrito, everyone else. But it's off of our backs, it's our sweat and tears and everything else. I want to be a White Sox. We are White Sox sickos. It doesn't have to be I don't care about the podcast because, yes, I'd rather talk Caleb Williams than fucking Caleb Bonham or whoever the fuck. Like, I'd rather talk Bears. They moves the needle. I love you guys on White Sox Twitter, but, like, whenever we talk Bears, it moves the needle, so we're going to keep talking Bears. But that doesn't mean that we're not White Sox sickos. So I just want to set the record straight. Just because we're not at the games or we're not talking about it specifically and just on its own, we're sickos.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself, Peter.
I might print the shirts. Print the shirts, Jason. Sickos.
Well, we couldn't get a jump on the stroking, so
we got beat on the stroking. That was the, you know, friend of the program. Credit to the stroking. But there'll be more stroking where that came from.
Nope. I think that, you know, yeah, we got snubbed, but that's all right. You know, we're gonna keep doing our thing.
It's okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna keep talking White Sox content all season long, thanks to TasteRealChicago.com.
And then in a few weeks, we'll be talking some more Bears too.
This is true. We'll talk about that
later. We are the Chicago sports bums, not the Chicago White Sox bums.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
Yep. All right, Peter, what's on the Baloney Show this week?
Speaking of sickos, my man Clem just won his first championship, and as an adult. Shout out the Knicks and all those sickos. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time. We've been a long time internet friends. We had a bet trying to get him on the BumCast, but I finally we're sitting down. We're talking content creation. We're talking nerd stuff. We're gonna talk about creating content as parents because he's got 2 kids that are, you know, just as old as my 2 kids. It's gonna be a fun time. I was about to dox him and say his real name, but it's Clem. It's Barstool Clem, and he's going to be on the Baloney Show on Wednesday. It'll be a good time.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank everyone who stuck with us for this extended show. Johnny, thanks once again for, you know, coming in for
Super
Dougie. Hopefully get well soon, Dougie. If you're watching. Hope you're feeling better, my friend. Hopefully we'll see you very near soon, very near future. And to everyone else, thanks. Have a great week. We'll see you Wednesday, and go Sox.
Go Bears.